Afghan women mourn inside the hospital compound after a suicide attack in Kabul, Afghanistan. Reuters. Pope Francis greets newlyweds during his weekly general audience at Orla Paolo Vi in the Vatican. AFP. Getty. Rohingya refugees walked next to a pond in the early morning at the Balakali refugee camp near Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. Reuters. Members of Ice Swimming Club Berliner Seehund Berlin Seals take a dip in the Arangsee Lake in Berlin as part of the traditional Christmas ice swimming session in Berlin, Germany. Reuters. Mourners carried the body of 19-year-old Mohammed Sami al-Dadu, a Palestinian youth from Jabalia who was killed in clashes with Israeli forces east of Gaza City. AFP. Getty. Policemen evacuate a baby after the Cagayan River swelled caused by heavy rains brought by tropical storm Tembin. People have died and others are missing as the storm struck the southern Philippines, unleashing floods and landslides across a region of 20 million people. AFP. Getty. Carles Puigdemont gives a thumbs-up after the Catalonia regional election results for XA. White SUV sits in the middle of the road as police and emergency personnel work at the scene of where it ran over pedestrians in Flinders Street in Melbourne. AFP. Getty. This combination of pictures shows Syrians covering one eye with their hands in the rebel-held town of Douma as part of a campaign in solidarity with a baby boy, Kareem Abdullah, who lost an eye, as well as his mother, in government shelling on the nearby town of Hamoria. AFP. Getty Images. South Korean and U.S. Marines take part in a winter military drill in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Reuters. Belgian police officers stand guard outside the trial of Salah Abdeslam, one of the suspects in the 2015 Islamic State attacks in Paris, at a courthouse in Brussels, Belgium. Reuters. Members of the International Space Station Expedition 54/55 Roscosmos cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov, C. NASA astronaut Scott Tingle R. and Nora Shigekani L. of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency JAXA, during the send-off ceremony after checking the spacesuits before the launch of the Soyuz MS-07 spacecraft at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Reuters. The former wife of the late South African President Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela R., and the candidate for the African National Congress presidency and ex-wife of the incumbent South African President, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, greet each other as they attend the 54th ANC National Conference at the NASREC Expo Center in Johannesburg on December 16, 2017. Thousands of delegates from South Africa's ANC party gathered on December 16, 2017 for a 5-day meeting to elect the new leader in a divisive race seen as a pivotal moment in the country's post-apartheid history. The winner will be well placed to be the next president, but the ANC has lost much popularity since Nelson Mandela led it to power in the euphoric 1994 election that marked the end of white-in-minority rule. AFP. Getty Images. Palestinian protesters wave the national flag during clashes with Israeli security forces near the border fence with Israel, east of Gaza City, as demonstrations continue over U.S. President Donald Trump's declaration of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. AFP. Getty Hamas supporters take part in a rally marking the 30th anniversary of the founding of the Islamist movement in Gaza City. AFP. Getty Images. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate Doug Jones thanks supporters as he holds his wife Louise's hand up. Ultra-Orthodox Jewish men gather during the funeral ceremony of prominent spiritual leader Rabbi Aharon Yehuda Leib Steinman, who died on Tuesday at the age of 104 in Bnei Brak near Tel Aviv, Israel. Reuters. A Palestinian protester kicks a flaming tire during clashes with Israeli forces in the West Bank city of Ramallah. AFP. Getty. Demonstrators set US and Israeli flags on fire during a protest against Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. In Istanbul. Reuters. People gather to watch the bikers' procession during the funeral ceremony in tribute to late French singer Johnny Hallyday in Paris. EPA. A Palestinian protester uses a sling to hurl stones towards Israeli troops. Reuters. Firefighters monitor a section of the Thomas Fire along the 101 freeway, north of Ventura, California. Getty Images. Palestinians burn an Israeli and a U.S. flag during a protest against the U.S. intention to move its embassy to Jerusalem and to recognize the city of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. In Gaza City. Reuters. Former Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili flashes a victory sign after he was freed by his supporters in Kiev. Reuters. A man exercises in a park on a winter morning in Kolkata, India. Reuters. A supporter of Salvador Nasrallah, presidential candidate for the opposition alliance against the dictatorship, puts a balloon on the shield of a soldier in a protest while the country is still mired in chaos over a contested presidential election in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Reuters. A man dressed as Santa Claus skis down a mountain during the St. Nicholas Day at the alpine ski resort of Verbier, Switzerland. Reuters. A nurse takes blood for a HIV test for French President Emmanuel Macron as he visits the Delafontaine Hospital on World AIDS Day. Reuters. An activist pours gasoline as an effigy of President Rodrigo Duterte and U.S. President Donald Trump burns during a protest action against Duterte's plan to set up a revolutionary government along a street in Metro Manila, Philippines. Reuters. South Korea's Hyunmoo-2 missile is fired during an exercise at an undefined location in the east coast of South Korea, the Defense Ministry, Yonhap. Via Reuters. People fall as police fire tear gas to try control the crowd trying to force the way into Kasarani Stadium to attend the inauguration of President Uhuru Kenyatta in Nairobi. Reuters. Rohingya refugee Amina Khatun, 55, rests at the bank of the Naf River after crossing it on an improvised raft to reach Bangladesh. In Technif. 2 of her sons were killed by gunfire when her village was attacked by Myanmar military, she says. Reuters. Mount Aging volcano is seen spewing smoke and ash in Bali. Emilio Kuzma Floyd. Via Reuters. A Pakistani protester throws a tear gas shell back towards police during a clash in Islamabad. AFP. Getty Images. Zimbabwe's former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa arrives ahead of his inauguration ceremony to be sworn in as president in Harare. Reuters. Comrades of missing crew members express the grief after the Argentine Navy announced that the sound detected in the missing submarine search is consistent with an explosion. AFP. Former Bosnian Serb military chief Ratko Mladic shouts at the presiding judge during the verdict hearing in his genocide trial in The Hague, Netherlands. EPA. People and soldiers celebrate after the resignation of Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe. AFP. Getty. Israeli security forces carry away an ultra-Orthodox Jewish demonstrator as they disperse a protest against Israeli army conscription in Bnei Brak, a city near Tel Aviv. AFP. Getty. Participants crossing the Jiaozhou Bay Bridge as they compete in the 2017 Qingdao International Marathon on the sea in Qingdao in China's eastern Shandong province. AFP. Getty.